because we haven't seen Ram Ranchers really play a game in a while. So seeing them on playing since they had that bye, it's been a while since we've seen them play. And so watching them against Cool Kids Club, I'm expecting some really interesting things to come out of this draft as we start off with an Orn ban on the side of Cool Kids Club.
Who is best in ACL?
That is Eric Lee. He's a sophomore.
Is he the mid laner?
He's their ADC. Juno's their mid laner. See a classic Ari ban away for the side.
You don't get an echo, right?
Sorry?
You don't get an echo, right?
No. You know, one thing I did hear, there was a quote by Lucas Holland earlier in the split that said to Juno, yeah, you know, if you take if you take a shitty player and you take away his least worst champion, that's a strategy. So seeing the Ari ban, it looks like Lucas might actually be a little scared of Juno at the moment, even though he did call him a shit player. As we do see Darius and Trundle banned away, targeted towards Kieran and Matt in the top end jungle.
Wait, maybe I can end this score on my task manager on this main computer. Let me try.
Rengar getting banned away. Again, a lot of respect towards Kieran in the jungle, and the Rammus ban is also targeted towards Chad, but it leaves a lot open for him. You see the Hecarim is still available, the Kindred is still available, Kha'Zix is still available. Lots of champions for Chad to be picking up in this first round. As we see we will see here what Cool Kids Club decide to pick up first. Nautilus is still available.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Chad's a Hecarim main, right?
He was last year. This year he hasn't really played as much Hecarim, but did pull it out against the Strignews. We're gonna see that Nautilus locked in here. Jeffrey, you might expect that Nautilus to be going support, but the other day we did see Matt Kwan play 2 games straight of Nautilus top lane. And
really?
winning on both of them.
Win?
So I do expect they did win both games. So I expect this Nautilus to be playing the top lane. But an interesting pickup here. We see Yorick being picked up by Dylan Chang in the top lane to counter that Nautilus. I mean, that is just a really good counter. You know, Yorick really does really well into these tanks.
Nautilus is still flexible. He can still go support.
Yeah, I mean, in my experiences of playing Nautilus top, I have a lot of. It's really hard to do anything as Yorick once you get past like level 6 or so.
Oh, the Graves are very, very strong jungler right now. Oh, and look at that, Hecarim from Chad.
Graves, Hecarim, and Jinx locked in for each side. Yeah, Chad actually played the Hecarim once. Like, it was the first time he played Hecarim all split, and it was in the semifinals, and they did in the quarterfinals the other day.
Yeah, I mean, Chad needs to manage him, so he should have like a basic idea of what he does.
Yeah, going back to his roots a little bit. And Eric is, once again, a Jinx main. We did talk about that a little bit in our post-game interview the other day. Eric Lee being in that Jinx main, but we're going to see the final lock-in here, and it's going to be Caitlyn who picked up her sniper shot Max. You know, very solid pickup here. Lots of sniping ability there by Caitlyn, and so, you know, Max is going to do a really good job on that champion. We saw him have a lot of success on it earlier, and we're going to see it being utilized now. We see a lot of AD on the side of Ram Ranchers, and they're going to have to try to counteract that in the second phase of this draft. Morgana taking over.
Yeah, I think what Ram Ranchers is going to look for in this next 2 picks is maybe a tank, some like Yorick. He's sort of semi-tank, and then you need something in front of the Graves and the Caitlyn. And the Graves is really strong right now because he wins fights like basically throughout the game. But it's really, really crucial for him to farm the jungle early on. Like, if he doesn't farm early on and he just tries to get close and walk around the map exerting pressure, he's going to fall behind very quickly, and he's going to be a lot less strong than he could be right now. Like, right now he's the S tier jungler. And I would say Hecarim is really strong right now too, actually. He's like about SA tier as well.
Something interesting we do see here is that the positions have been matched in both lanes, in all lanes so the top jungle and AD carry are hypothetically picked up. Again, that Nautilus can be flexible a little bit, but we do see targets towards the support and mid lane on both sides coming into here, and Jack got his Morgana banned away, but Thresh is still available as well. Whereas Leona and Diana were taken away against the side of Ram Ranchers. Probably going to see a mid pick here, or maybe pick a support here, I'm not sure. And it's going to be Thresh picked up, going towards Tall Strauss in the support, down in the bot lane. So we're going to see a Caitlyn Thresh bot lane, going to be super oppressive in the early game. Definitely going to have a lot of poke and a lot of all-in potential as well with those traps and everything. And once again,
I think what you're looking for the blue side is some AP damage right now. for
Yeah.
the mid lane.
I mean, Juno plays a lot of AP champions, so I'm expecting some of that. Jack's support pool actually has been kind of taken away a little bit here. But we see a Lissandra pick up, and that is also going support. So some really unusual champions being picked up. We saw Jack Ham pick up the Lissandra support in the quarterfinals against the Strict News as well. We're going to see Veigar lock in, or maybe it's going to be Annie. Jeffrey, you were talking about AP damage, and it looks like Cool Kids Club is going to be getting a lot of that in this draft, in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, that Lissandra is really interesting. Like, has Jack played a lot of Lissandra support during the tournament?
He played it in the quarterfinals against the Strict News, and they in game 2, and they ended up winning. So I think I'm not surprised by this pick at all, but I am expecting it to be pretty good in lane, but also just good to like lock people down, which is kind of something that this team has kind of relied on with Veigar and the Nautilus.
I guess it could be a counter pick to the Thresh because if Thresh locks you down and Caitlyn starts bursting you down, you always have that ulti to save yourself, and you can always use it on the Jinx as well.
Yeah, you do get a bit of like a free Zanya's, I guess. It's true. But if you look at these team comps on either side, we actually saw the Sylas getting picked up in response to the Veigar. I'm not sure about how good like Sylas is against Veigar in lane, but if you look at the ultimates on the side of Cool Kids Club, you see Nautilus, Hecarim, Jinx, Lissandra, and Veigar. Each of them have such strong, powerful ultimates that the Sylas can just steal, and it could be really valuable when you get to the later stages of the game. But I do think that
and Veigar is usually picked up like in response to enemies that have a lot of gap closers, like enemy like assassins and stuff. So he can put down the box and just stop them right away. And it's really interesting that the Sylas got picked up in response because he's supposed the Veigar can just stop him with his box when he tries to engage.
Yeah, Sylas is gonna be an interesting pick here. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting something else, but we saw a lot of mid champions already bend away.
Well, I guess he could have picked the mage because they really lacked AP damage in the last pick.
Sylas is a decent amount, but definitely probably expecting some more mage damage. Once again, guys, we are going into this spectator delay real quick. But yeah, Jeffrey, what do you think about these team comps? I think that Cool Kids Club has a lot of like lockdown, catch, and combined with good team fighting. And well, with
you have the York. I thought the Nautilus was just gonna go support because I thought he was just bluffing, but I guess he was going top. And Lissandra Jinx lane, that's really interesting because both of them are really squishy. And if the Thresh lands a hook and Grace comes and falls up, then that's a lot of damage for them, and they might just get bursted down before the Lissandra reaches her level 6. So.
Well, we were talking about this jungle matchup, and we see these two junglers picking very high, like very comfortable picks. Here we see Graves on Kieran, and we see Chad on Hecarim. So it's not going to be like it's not going to be a situation where somebody says like, oh, you know, I picked the wrong champ. I picked like a champion for the comp. Like I can probably destroy you. Actually, these guys playing on some of their best champs. So like it's going to definitely show like who's the better jungler here. As these are probably two of the best junglers that we have in the THSCS, aside from Minky of GMR as well.
I'm gonna search up some information on our players right now on op.gg.
Jeffrey, we have to guess the soul for the game. What do you think it's gonna be? I'm on a hot streak right now. What did you say?
Oh, it looks like Muffenberg has been spamming the Hecarim lately. He's been practicing a lot.
Well, maybe it might have gotten buffed recently. I'm not sure actually.
No, he didn't get buffed.
Really?
Oh,
okay, no.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's played Hecarim 10 times in his last 11 games, but they have been like I said, they have been practicing a lot. They practice. How long was this? Yeah, but they've been practicing a lot with Flex pick. It seems they're really determined to win this.
Well, Cool Kids Club, again, they probably were inspired by the fact that they are playing Ram Ranchers, who are seemingly the best team, but they actually managed to take a victory off of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to take a game, or even two, and managed to win the series. It would not be a surprise, but I still think that Ram Ranchers are the favorites going into this series.
Oh, Chad mains Rengar now. Rengar and
Kindred, yeah.
Rengar got banned out by them, actually.
Well, yeah, because I think even though Chad plays out of Rengar, I think Kieran is probably still the better Rengar player. That's been his main for like a while.
Kieran plays Rengar.
Yeah.
Are we on the patch where
we're on the newest
10.7?
patch. We're on the 80 carry like buff patch, I think, right now. So yeah, we are on 10.11. But yeah, Jeffrey, are you? This is I'm
Well,
actually
I
super
mean,
pumped for this game.
2.11 is really interesting because Graves did get nerfed in this latest patch. His Q damage, I believe, went from 100% of his 80 to 80%. So I mean, he was really overpowered and broken before. He was in the top tier with Fiddlesticks before, but I think this will reduce his damage a little bit. But I think he's still a pretty good jungler right now. I mean, once again, I can't really like talk about the future because we just have to see how things play out. But I still believe he's a really nice jungler right now. He can win games at any. He can win duels at any point in the game, and it's really interesting because the standard Graves brings face rush to gap close, but he did bring the fleet footwork, and I guess that's a pretty good gap closer as well. But yeah, it's not the standard runes to bring on this guy.
I do think that Graves is favored into Hecarim in this matchup. I think they expected Chad to like play the Hecarim, which is why they picked the Graves before it. And I do think that he will be able to pressure him out early, but Hecarim is still like going to be a strong champion. Has the Ignite. We haven't shown the loading screen to you guys just yet, but Hecarim is bringing Smite Ignite, so it's
I
going
mean,
to be
I think
important
what
for
you're
him to get
looking
there.
for in this game is who lands the first hook. The Nautilus and the Thresh are so important in this game. If Thresh lands a hook on the Jinx or the Lissandra, and Veigar isn't there to stun them, then their backline will be destroyed. But if Nautilus lands a hook on the Graves or the Caitlyn, then their backline will be destroyed. And it's about whoever makes that first move.
Well, this top lane matchup, Yorick against Nautilus, again, I was talking about it. It's just so hard for Nautilus to really do a lot. I mean, Yorick is really good into like these tanks. Like he doesn't really have a gap closer, especially because once Nautilus gets trapped in that Yorick W, you can't get out of it because you don't have like a dash other than your Q, and the Q knocks onto the wall, so you can't actually escape that way. So.
Yeah, I mean, he could always just auto attack the wall twice and then get out, but by that
It's
time, Yorick will probably be
Yeah, it's
on
just
him.
I've just seen it as a really oppressive matchup, and I do think Ram Ranchers did a good job scouting this team out to figure out like, hey, I do think that they're gonna pick Nautilus first pick here, so I think we should pick the York in return. And I expected Dylan. Dylan's probably been practicing this a little bit, so.
Oh, I'm not really familiar with the Lissandra support, but it did seem like he went for the aftershock there to reinforce extra damage once he goes in to root the guy, which I think is really interesting. I have not seen a Lissandra support that often in my games.
Yeah, Lissandra support, I haven't seen it also as well, but Jack
Oh, they're going for the top
has
lane.
been doing a lot of this. We're gonna start this game off. Welcome to Summoner's Rift, everybody, and welcome to the second semifinal of the THSCS. We're gonna see Ram Rancher set up a 5-man stack in the top lane, where Cool Kids Club are actually setting up 5-man in the bot lane. Do have that Thresh and Nautilus to hook on either side, but it doesn't look
That
like
is
either
really
side is gonna be
interesting
seeing each
because
other.
they're both planning to land a cheap hook on each other, and they're just on opposite sides of the map. But the red team clearly is more aggressive, and they're already going on the red buff, whereas the blue side team, they have no idea that they are at the blue, and if they do elect to take this blue, the if Ram Ranchers do elect to take this blue, then Chad will be behind if he doesn't get something in return, like the enemy blue buff.
Hold on, it
And
looks like
you never want to be. Oh wait, he's playing the header. Yeah, you still don't want to be ahead behind for the header room.
we see pings going out on the side of Cool Kids Club onto their own blue buff. I think that
Oh, I think
Matt
Nautilus is
might
going
be
to walk
sniffing
through
this out a
the
little
walk
bit.
through. Yeah,
Nautilus
Nautilus
might
is
be
going to walk
spotting this
through
out, but here comes the York and the Graves are here. Does not look like Nautilus actually checks their blue at all, and so a bit of a mistake there by Matt Kwan. Didn't decide
Yeah,
to
I mean,
actually check
I
the blue buff there.
always ask my top players to check the blue.
So it looks like Chad's gonna be going for a full clear, but I do think that
Yeah,
Graves will be able to pick up a lot of his top side before he even gets there. So.
yeah, even these small things like the Graves taking the blue buff and the Gromp and Chad not knowing about it is such a huge deal for the Graves because he just becomes so scary once he gets ahead, and that's a huge mistake by the top laner.
Oh, hold on. Thank you. So yeah, so early on we do see we saw Kieran steal the blue and the Gromp of the side of against Chad, and he's going to go and
It
finish
seems
up. It's
that
probably gonna be just a 3 buff.
Vikram's going for a full red side clear, which will reveal to him that his blue is taken even later. and he still has no idea.
Yeah.
So
By the time he gets to his own blue, he's gonna be so far away from Kieran's blue buff that it's not gonna be possible for him to even try to contest. And you see here the start of this Nautilus Yorick matchup, just super oppressive. Like the ghouls are just gonna be able to deal so much damage, and Nautilus, after getting those damage nerfs on his E and W, like it's gonna be really hard for him to it's really hard for him to be in his solo lane anyway. Like that's kind of why we haven't really seen Nautilus top.
yeah, and we just see a question mark being spotted from the red side. And if the Grace wanted to contest with this Hecarim, he definitely could right now.
We're gonna see Chad actually move into the top side jungle of Ram Ranchers, maybe looking for a gank top lane. I don't think he's.
I doubt he's going to get in. I think Grace should have stayed top side to prevent a gank.
Hecarim does have good ganks with this Nautilus here, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough to kill the Yorick here. So. I'm not sure. We're going to see Kieran continue the rest of his clear. He's going to be really ahead of Chad at the moment, just due to the fact that he's going to have 3 buffs compared to 2. So we actually see Matt getting a little bit of a push here. Probably just because Dylan expected Chad to come in after to the top lane after realizing all of his buffs are gone. So smart play by him. He's gonna catch all that CS and experience in there. But for now, the game's looking pretty even. It looks like both sides do have a good chance of winning this one. So
yeah, it seems that the Nautilus is actually oppressing the Europe right now. I don't know that much about top lane Nautilus and if it's supposed to be dominant or not, but it seems that Matt is off to a good start.
Yeah, definitely agree on that. I do think once you do get some levels and stuff, like even though Nautilus can become really tanky, I still think that Dylan will do really well into this matchup as the lane goes on a little.
Yeah, and the respect potion comes out from Dylan as well.
So far, not too much action happening. First blood has not been picked up yet. We see Kieran just running straight into the enemy jungle once again. Going to be stealing those enemy raptors. Chad is just going to have not going to have a lot of CS to start this game off.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that Chad can do. His team had it's mainly his team's fault that they didn't provide him enough vision early on, and they really cannot let this Grace get ahead. He's already so ahead. He's already 12 CS above the Hecarim, and it'll be so scary if he just keeps on going like this. Chad really needs to pick his camps a little bit more, but it's not his fault. His team didn't provide him this vision.
So we've seen a lot of Silas in the top lane because Wayne Kim plays a lot of Silas, but I don't think we've actually seen a lot of it mid. Seeing Lucas Holland on this Gragas will be interesting. We see a trade in the top lane. So far, it looks like Matt is doing a good job of trying to survive against his Yorick. Conquer is going to be popped, but so far, not a lot. But actually, Matt actually gets really low there, and that's the power of this Yorick top. I mean, he's really impressive. Matt's still going to have the TP to use just in case the lane gets a little bit out of control. But for now, it does look
Graves
like...
and Hecarim are both moving top as well.
Oh, Graves might actually catch him out. I mean, Hecarim might actually catch out Graves here, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 for now.
Graves is just going to back in his blue side. That's just a show of dominance and power.
Yeah, honestly, it is. So far, we actually see Max picking up an 18 CS lead over Eric so far. So sniper shot Max doing his good job, sniping those minions out, getting that 50 CS mark first before anybody else in the game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Kalen is really strong early on, so you could expect that.
The all-in potential of the side of Cool Kids Club is still going to be good once you hit level 6 in the bot lane. Just because you have that Lissandra ultimate to lock someone down, it's going to be really strong, and you might be able to just burst somebody out with that Jinx Rocket combined with the Lissandra damage.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like the small things are really going to make a difference in this game, especially to the Graves, like how much you can scale and do how much damage you can do late game. Like the 3,000 gold lead, the 4,000 gold lead right now in the game is massive.
So Silas ends up stealing the Veigar ultimate first. Probably makes a lot of sense just given the fact that he's in the mid lane and everything. So gonna be one of those super impactful ultimates. We actually see an invade here. Chad's gonna smite out that red buff before Kieran can get there. Don't think that he was actually spotted there by Chad. So
yeah,
a bit of a failed invade, but he's actually coming right back to those raptors.
Yeah, and there's something that Chad can do. Graves is already ahead. He's already boots and longsword ahead. And that's why Graves is such a great jungler right now. He can clear his jungle so fast and just skirmish around the map. And even if you try to deal with him, it will be really hard to win the duel if he's already ahead.
But we still see this game pretty close, honestly. Take a look at the gold. Chad's actually only down about 100 gold against Kieran right now. And everywhere else is pretty even. Max has a slight gold lead.
I think I really have to commend this Veigar at mid lane. He's really done his work of holding his own. Juno has done his work of holding his own against the Silas. I expected the Silas to show more dominance against Veigar, but he's really done a great job.
Oh, we do see an all-in here a little bit in the mid lane side. Lucas does use that ultimate, does a good job of chunking down Juno to really low health. Ultimate's burned on both sides in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Juno is really low on mana right now, so he has to be really careful about staying for this wave. This Graves can just pop out of nowhere. And that's the fear of playing Graves. Because he can just ulti you from behind a wall and you will just be dead.
Nautilus does have a decent way of getting out of that Yorick W early on before he starts putting a couple points in it. Nautilus can auto and reset with his W to try and get out of that cage, but again, even though you'd have that, it's still going to be a lot of damage given out to you. We see Kieran actually going for a bit of a lane gank here. If that W hit, I do think that Grand Ranchers might have been able to capitalize, but for now it looks like just a back to Kieran, and it looks like some pushing here on the side.
Yeah, I mean, because and Yorick is going in on the Nautilus, but I don't think he's going to make anything happen. But this early on, this non-action or peacefulness, not getting any kills, it's actually really good for the Graves because, as I said, he's gonna start getting more and more attack damage, and I think it's going to benefit the Graves more than it's going to benefit Pepper later on in the game.
So it looks like now Yorick is doing a good job of just shoving waves into the tower, but it looks like here we're going to see a bit of an engage. Dragon is actually going to get killed by the side of Cool Kids Club, and here comes 3 onto the enemy bot lane. Splee's going to land onto Max. He's going to be running in the wrong direction here. That's going to be first blood for the side of Cool Kids Club, going towards Jack Ham. Excellent play by them, and it looks like while Kieran did have that advantage in the jungle, looks like Cool Kids Club pick up their first dragon here. We're going to see a bit of a more engage here. Jack picks up the ultimate. It's going to be stunning up Kieran. And that Jinx ult is going to miss both members of Ram Ranchers, but it looks like here comes Lucas Holland. He's going to pick up that Hecarim ult. He's going to pick a big fear, but a good blast cone by them just to fear them off. But he's going to still going down to Juno. Doesn't have the cage available right now, but it looks like after all of that action, it's still only going to be 1 kill. Oh, but maybe not. Max is going to get in range for that eye in the hole and going to finish off
Amazing
there.
play by Max, as predicted.
Max pulling off his signature sniper shot maneuvers. Going to be using that ultimate to snipe Juno out. After he was in vision, was low enough to pick up that kill. So another kill going towards that Caitlyn. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade here, but it looks like Ram Ranchers are still doing pretty good. They have a 1 kill.
Hecarim did a really great job of securing the dragon there. So Caitlyn was ahead in CS, and theoretically she should be dominating the Jinx, but they took a chance where Jinx shoved in the lane and Chad was soloing the dragon. So there wasn't too much, so they didn't just like too much, and they just took it. That was really good executed by Chad.
Jinx actually like straight up like, I think she took the dragon with her W though. So Hecarim didn't actually smite that, or maybe failed to smite a little bit. So interesting play there. We do see Max doing a lot of work on the spot lane. He's now at 40 CS and onto Eric.
And what we didn't mention was the Hecarim actually brought the ignite instead of the flash. So it definitely seems he's going to value getting solo kills against this Graves more than he is about chasing them down. So that's really interesting that he wanted to get solo kills against these Graves. But
yeah, you do have the ultimate. Flash isn't super important. We're actually going to see a gank mid lane, but not going to really work out really well. So far, not a lot of action this top lane. We do see a good power here. Ultimate's going to get popped by Dylan, and it's going to force. It might force Matt out of lane, and it might get Dylan a couple of turret plates here in this top lane. So overall, Matt Kwan is doing a very good job just surviving against this York in the early game. So props to him on surviving so far. He's working towards that Sunfire cape as of now. And he's only down about 15 CS.
yeah, and I think Chad is going to go for a bot lane play after he gets the plugs here because they have so much CC if he does. They have the Hecarim multi to fear, and he is going for something actually.
We're gonna look for a play bot lane. Jack actually steps on the trap, which actually leads to him getting headshotted there by Max. Has the ultimate available though. Glacial, I think Glacial Prison, I think it is.
They're trying to bait Caitlyn into the tri-brush. And she
here
does
comes Jack. Here comes Chad. He has the E ready. He's gonna ult in. He's gonna fear up. And the stun's gonna land out to Max, and he will fall. Another kill going to kill Cool Kids Club against the 8 AD carry. Meanwhile, on the top lane,
was way too late. Yeah, that lantern by the thresh was way too late. Maybe he didn't want to confuse the. Maybe he didn't want to confuse the Caitlyn and give her too many
another hook actually landing onto Eric. This could be big for Ram Ranchers. Here comes Kieran, and the ultimate's going to secure that kill for the side of the Ram Rancher. It is now 2 for 2, so 80 carries trade their lives there. But Jack now has 2 kills on the Lissandra. He can go for an early Zanyas here. So far, despite the kills being even, we actually see Ram Ranchers with almost a 2,500 gold lead, nearly 3k actually at this point. So it looks like they are just getting the advantages in terms of farm and turret platings at the moment. Again, we see Max about 30 CS up despite having 2 deaths. And with all the kills on your Lissandra support, if you're Cool Kids Club, you have to kill somewhere else. Oh, we actually might see... Oh... Heal's gonna get popped by Eric there.
I don't think that heal was necessary.
Yeah, I don't know if it was, but I don't know if it was either. We see Juno running the Glacial Augment build on this Veigar. Already has that GLP, gonna be working towards slowing. We saw it play to perfection last time against the Strignews, slowing them up right into their cage.
See the Grace getting a Phage and a Longsword, going for that Black Cleaver as an item. And I think it's such a good item to make sure that he doesn't get popped by the Hecarim, who made it so clear that he was targeting him with both the Ignite and the Warrior, the Red Warrior right away. So I think it's a really good item for the Grace, a really smart item for him to get.
Oh, we're gonna see a 3-man play in the mid lane. Juno's gonna get stunned up. The cage is not gonna be enough to save his life. Kieran picks up a kill. That's his 2nd kill of the game here. So Ram Ranchers pick up another kill in the mid lane, and Juno is now 0-2 on this Veigar.
Yeah, I mean, and they can make a dragon play happen right now. Wait, what did you say the dragon still was?
I actually don't know. I'll guess Ocean right now. Oh, it was Cloud. Okay, so I was wrong. But Ram Ranchers is gonna pick up that 2nd Infernal Dragon. That 2nd dragon, which is gonna be the Infernal. So the dragons are now tied up at 1-1 on each side. So gonna be interesting to see who ends up getting that skull. It's gonna be pretty important. Cloud Soul on a lot of these champions, again with the powerful ultimates, is gonna be really important. Especially on champions like Hecarim. And even Nautilus. He's gonna be big on them.
Yeah, I think it's fine that Juno's letting a few kills slip by, because I think that was the first kill he let slip by actually, but he is playing the Veigar, he is going for the late game. Once he gets enough stacks, he's just looking to pop that Caitlyn.
Yeah, Veigar definitely more concerned for the late game than the early game, so being down a couple kills and a couple CS right now is not the biggest deal. But we see a 2,500 gold lead developed here for the side of Ram Ranchers in this first game. So they are at the advantage about 16 minutes in, but it's going to be Cool Kids Club definitely still have the chance to take this game.
Yeah, and we see that Hecarim is trying to make a play bot happen, whereas Grace is top, so he could really turn the tide with this game.
Getting another kill onto Max would be pretty big, especially if he can manage to like do some damage onto that turret as well.
Yeah, and Lissandra has her ulti, and Hecarim has his ulti, so this would be perfect. Once Lissandra pops that ulti, then it will be just a chain of CC, and I don't believe that Max is supposed to get out of it.
Oh, and here comes the E, combined with the W and the ultimate. Max is gonna get stunned up once again. They're just gonna ignore him.
The Thresh actually. Oh, it was understandable. The Thresh put out the lantern, so Caitlyn could come. Yeah. Great play executed by the blue side.
So Chad picks up a kill there. And it looks like Rift Herald is going to be summoned here. They're going to be doing a lot of damage onto this turret. It looks like Matt might actually just get a kill onto Dylan. Flash is going to get popped. Looks like Matt went a little bit too aggressive on... Looks like Dylan went really aggressive on that turret. And that was not worth for the side of Ram Ranchers.
Taking too long. Bad play by
Dylan.
Dylan.
Meanwhile, Flash E is going to land by Lucas Holland, taking down Juno for the 3rd death of the game. But
Yeah,
yeah, looks like
if I were
Dylan.
Chad, I would make sure to stick by the Veigar for now because I never want to get my teammates tilted.
Dylan went super aggressive for that to finish off that turret, and he didn't realize how much CC Matt had with that Nautilus, the auto attack, the ultimate, and the Q, all just CCing Dylan out of control, and he actually died before he managed to even take the turret. So first turret is also going to get picked up for Cool Kids Club, and the gold lead has kind of evened out a little bit, only 1,500 in favor of Ram Ranchers right now.
Yeah, and it seems that Lissandra picked up the Zonia's first item. Maybe she's going for a more AP build. I'm not really sure what the
Yeah, I think the
what
Aftershock
the
is
strategy.
good. Aftershock is good just for your general like tankiness when you engage, just for a little bit. But you still want to be building AP. I think the Zonias is definitely really valuable because you're gonna want to have that extra survivability when you go in.
When I think about Lissandra, I think that you're just trying to make sure you don't die in the front line, and you just try to CC as many people as possible with your EW combo. So I think Lasonia it will be good, but I don't know if she's going to be going for a full AP build. As
Taking the
we
top
see
lane
the
here.
non-control.
So right now we're gonna see a little bit of engage. We're gonna see Eric actually get stunned up here by Lucas. Ultimate's gonna land by the Lissandra to save his life for now, and it looks like Lucas might actually get kited out a little bit here. The Super Mega Death Rock is gonna manage to take him down, and Lucas went a little bit over aggressive there and did not and underestimated the power of that Lissandra support.
Yeah, and I mean, I think and Jack might be in trouble here, but I think what doesn't get enough credit this game is the Lissandra played by Jack. He's been with his ulti and combined with the Hecarim ulti, they've been able to execute perfect ganks, and that was the turning tide of this game. And I think that the Lissandra doesn't get enough credit this game.
So Matt's actually gotten tanky enough that he can actually survive against this Yorick right now. So it looks like his split pushing actually is not really working out for him. Matt's actually up in CS over Dylan. By about 4, but I think the gold is still pretty even. Yeah, actually dead even basically in that top lane. So a lot of the gold right now is focused on that mid and jungle for the side of Ram Ranchers, which is why they still have a little bit of a gold lead right now. Blue buff secured by the enemy, by the Cool Kids Club mid laner. Juno, of course, loves his blue buffs. Definitely important for him to get that mana sustain early on in this game. We're going to see this Cloud Dragon started up. Chad's actually topside right now, so I do think that Ram Ranger will just get this Dragon free.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too big of a deal. You did the first Mountain Dragon, and you can let this one slip by if you're trying to exert top pressure.
Oh, Jack is actually going a little bit aggressive here, not going to be able to be taken out by the side of Ram Ranger. We see Tall actually getting caught into that E by the Veigar. So it looks like for now he's going to stay alive for now. Ram Ranchers are doing a good job of rotating all over the map, working towards those objectives, while Cool Kids Club also have been able to survive a lot of these aggressive plays by the side of Ram Ranchers, notably on the side of Lucas Holland. So so far some good plays on both sides. The gold is even. We're seeing more trades in the top lane. I do think that in general Dylan still wins this matchup, even despite him getting that weird like solo kill. Gets chunked down really low right there.
He did a kill there actually, but not.
I mean, yeah, you'll take that any day if you're Dylan. You get the free turret, and you might even be able to push for more with that ulti. Oh, Tall misses the hook onto Eric. That could have been a big play for the side of Ram Ranchers if that actually ended up landing, but looks like it's not actually going to happen. Tall's going to miss the hook, and it looks like Jinx will be able to get out with her life. So a Righteous Glory pickup here by Matt Kwan in the first second item. Going to be looking for some engages. We might see him actually leave the top lane. Something that he normally doesn't really do that much. Normally he stays in the top lane for a long time, pushing those side lanes in. But for now on Nautilus, one of those more like team-oriented top laners, might be important for him to try to get into the action a little bit faster.
And also we can see the Caitlyn picking up the Quicksilver stash, going for that item. And I do believe that Grace will start building it later on because there's just so much CC on the side of the blue side with the Hecarim ulti and the Nautilus passive, Nautilus R, and there's just so much that they can do. And Nautilus
might see Kieran get caught out a little bit here. Nice ult E on the side of Chad to chunk him down really low, and I do think that he's going to be able to be taken down, but here comes Lucas. He's here for revenge. Ignite's going to get popped on Chad to finish him off, but Matt's just going to be fighting Lucas in the top lane here, but here comes the rest of Cool Kids Club. Flash ult by Jack, combined with the cage Luke is going to be taken really low. He's under his own tower right now. The ultimate by Jinx is barely going to miss. And it looks like under his own turret, Lucas Holland manages to fall. Jack picks up his 3rd kill of the game, and it's now 7-5 on the side of Cool Kids Club. But once again, we do see, despite all of that, we see Dylan still doing a lot of work in these side lanes. He managed to take down that bottom outer turret and is working towards that inner. Juno was forced to TP to save the tower. So a little bit of a we see Ram Ranchers being mortal here for a little bit. Maybe Cool Kids Club is like just a bit of their kryptonite. We were.
Yeah, I mean, this game is definitely close despite the 1K gold lead. It's definitely still anybody's game. Like I think the next dragon, once it spawns, that dragon fight will be such a big pivotal point for these two teams.
At the beginning of the split, we thought that Ram Ranchers was undoubtedly the best team in the split. They're in the entire league. Jack actually disconnected there, but this gives us a little bit of time to talk about this. Jack, I mean, we've seen Ram Ranchers be like the best team, undisputedly, but recently teams like GMR and even Cool Kids Club with their victory have been able to look pretty dominant against in some of their games and managed to do some good work against Ram Ranchers as well. So GMR actually lost to Ram Ranchers, but Cool Kids Club have
Who won
actually
the
beat
other
Ram Ranchers in the final.
semifinal?
GMR swept the THC. So Gimori is actually looking really powerful right now.
Nicknames.
That's a team with like Wayne.
Oh.
So they've actually won 10 straight games in the THSCS.
Well, they're
on fire right now. What happened?
They have a perfect record?
No, they started off 0-3, and then after that have won 10 in a row, including playoff performances.
Oh.
So they're in the finals right now, and they're looking to face the winner of the series. I mean, originally we thought it was probably just going to be Ram Ranchers, but looks like Cool Kids Club is putting up a big fight here. And it looks like this might be a little bit closer than we anticipated. We see an aggressive Silas build here by Lucas. He's going for Ludin straight into Death Cap. Typically, you do see Silas just go for a little bit more defensive build, stuff with like Proto Belt and Banshees, but looks like Lucas is looking to one-shot people with that EW combo. So, very interesting build on the side of Lucas Holland here on the Silas. So Cloudrick is going to spawn in about a minute right now, so it's going to be important. It's going to be a very important Drake. Ram Ranchers wants to get to that soul point, and Cool Kids Club definitely wants to avoid that. So right now with the gold, it's basically dead even right now. I'm excited to see a 5v5 between these two teams because I think it's going to be close. And it looks like this dragon is going to be something that both teams want to contest here.
If I were to pick someone to come out of this fight to win, I think it will be the red side when all is said is done, because Grace does a lot of damage, and if the Veigar can't trap him in his box, then he can just go on bursting the front line, and the Thresh can, once he lands a hook, it's pretty much over for the back line for the blue side.
Hecarim multi picked up there by Silas. Gonna be pretty big for a lot of big AoE fears on both sides. So now with the Hecarim multi on the Silas, looks like both teams are going to be looking to try and make a good engage here.
That's a really good choice for ulti. Like, especially if, you know, you're going for a clumped dragon fight.
Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a really solid choice there. We actually see it used here onto Juno. So he's going to run straight through the stun. Tall is going to miss the hook. But meanwhile, Cool Kids Club managed to pick up the second Cloud Drake. It's going to be 2-2 in Dragons right now. And it looks like Cool Kids Club just basically out-pressured Ram Ranchers. Righteous Glory is going to be popped by Matt, but it's not going to be able to do that much. And for now, it looks like they're just going to keep pushing on while Dylan is still in that bot lane.
It's really weird that they would try to they will give up the Drake to try to go for a kill on the Veigar. And Veigar isn't known for his for escaping ganks other than for his E. He's not really good at that. So it's really weird that they failed the gang. It just doesn't seem like the good Ram Ranchers that we know.
Yeah, Tall did miss that hook, which ended up costing them a lot in that engage. Also, Juno did burn that flash in that fight, so you do get a summoner out of Juno there. It's gonna be important for these later fights. He's still only
I mean it is like 12 kills when it's 26 minutes in, so it's a very slow game. So
yeah,
I do.
Oh, We might see Matt actually get caught out here, but he's just so tanky on this Nautilus. We're going to see the hook, and both of the marksmen trying to take him down. And I do think he will eventually fall here. They're going to give the kill to Kieran here as he steals it with the ultimate. Meanwhile, we actually might see Lucas in a bit of trouble, but now it might actually be Juno be going down here. Lucas actually managed to survive by just a little bit of health as he manages to take down the enemy Veigar as 4 members of the
that was really good for Juno, but he just overstayed because the stun on Veigar's box isn't long enough yet, so he could have definitely bursted Silas down.
Yeah, you did get that kill, but there's still three other members of the team there, even though you did pick up the stun. So it's going to be 2 kills picked up by Ram Ranchers. They once again have jumped out to about a 2,500 gold lead. Once again, that can change at basically any moment as we've seen. It's very volatile so far. But it looks like right now, Dylan is just continuing to split push here. Oh my gosh, look at the damage on those ghouls. He might actually just take Chad down here. He's just so low, and with the flash Q, Dylan just takes him down. Looks like Chad kind of trolled a little bit.
Really ballsy play by Dylan. If he didn't have enough damage, that would have been really that would have looked really stupid.
Well, Dylan has what, like 5? He now has 3 points into that W. I think it gives him 3. It gives it 3 HP. So Chad just needed to auto it 3 times, but it looks like he didn't even try. He just let it go for the full duration. So it looks like a bit of a BM on the side of Chad. Don't know really what he was thinking there.
So I don't know.
Kind of just got one shot there. I was not expecting him to actually die there, but just you can see the power of this Yorick. He has a lot of items right now. Triforce and Sterix already completed, going towards that Death Dance. It's going to be important for him to be really strong in these side lanes. And we're going to see Juno might get caught out here again. We're going to see ultimates popped by Juno to take him really low. We see these mid fights going so close, but it looks like Lucas is just coming out on top in every single one of them. Jinxell's barely going to miss Lucas and staying to save him for now. So right now, Juno is 0-5-1 on the side on this Veigar. You know, we were expecting him to, I was expecting a bit more of a stronger performance than him, especially as we hit the 30-minute mark and he starts to work towards his death cap, but right now hasn't been working out for him as of yet.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He hasn't been able to pop the carries in those crucial team fights because he's been busy farming. So maybe once he gets enough of his items where he deems it necessary, then he can come to the team fights once again.
I mean, he's doing damage. We see him almost chunking down Silas in a lot of these fights.
He's probably doing a lot of damage.
I think he's just ending up getting caught out a little bit, like just getting caught out. And I think while he is able to almost burst out one member of Ram Ranchers, it is like just hard for him to finish it off. We're gonna see the Silas ult actually steal the Jinx ult right there. It actually did magic damage, which is kind of funny. I've never really seen the interaction before. So right now we see Ram Ranchers actually have extended their goal lead to about 4,500 as we approach the 30-minute mark. They do have the turret advantage here. 4 towers on the side of Ram Ranchers. The nice job on the Twin Shadows there to try to catch out some members of Ram Ranchers by Juno, spot them out in their own jungle, try to clear some vision out as well. So, but right now, we do see the tower advantage and the kill advantage on the side of Ram Ranchers. They're pulling away a little bit here, about 5,000 gold. Dylan's continuing to push in this bot lane, and I don't think that only Matt can stop him. You're going to need more than just these Nautilus. And I think this is the point of the game where the Yorick just becomes really hard to deal with. Dylan's only 1-1-0, but he has a 300 gold bounty on him just due to the amount of farm and experience that they've been able to pick up. He's now 3,000 gold ahead of this Nautilus, even though like they were seemingly pretty even, and Dylan actually managed to die solo to Matt in one of the earlier skirmishes. See this third Cloud Dragon about to spawn. Looks like Ram Ranchers is actually in a good position to take this. Here comes Dylan on the flank. He's going to land a nice W onto the Jinx, but it looks like he's going to be caught a little bit. Meanwhile, Jack went really aggressive into the rest of Ram Ranchers and ends up falling. So it looks like Dylan is just too tanky. Even though he was in 4 members of the Cool Kids Club, still was not able to fall there. And it looks like Ram Ranchers are going to finish off this third Cloud Dragon for them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's not, what I was gonna say.
Oh, and it looks like Dylan might be caught out a little bit here. Nice job by Chad and Eric doing some good work Just being able to take down Dylan. He was at pretty low health, but still managed to see. We do see a stun land onto Max here. It looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble here. Did get caught out. Nice stun by Juno to take him down, and it looks like Eric has that passive pop, and he's gonna keep going. That's another kill. Silas manages to almost take down Eric.
Does have the ulti to take the Thresh if she chooses to.
Ulti's still available. Does not look like he's gonna actually be going for that, which is a little bit surprising. Oh, man, that Graves ult nearly took him down. Good job by Eric to stay alive there, and that's a good fight for them. And it looks like Kukas is actually gonna be going down to Baron now with 3 of their members, 3 members of the other opposing team dead. Solid Baron pickup here by Cool Kids Club. Doesn't look like it's going to be too contested. That Graves ultimate's already down, and it looks like they're going to be able to take this down pretty handily. Paul is just about to respawn, and it looks like Dylan actually has a teleport, so this might actually be a fight. Doesn't look like he's looking for it yet. Actually, I don't know if Kieran knows, or the rest of Ram Ranchers know that Cool Kids Club is on this Baron. But in the 33-minute mark, does look like Cool Kids Club is going to pick up this Baron. They even the gold up back again. This game is just going so close.
That was a really impressive play by the blue side. Really well executed. A really great shot calling. I wondered who called for the Baron though. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, I didn't see either. You see 3 members of Cool Kids Club fall, and I guess it does make sense to try to go for Baron there, but just given how close this game is and how behind you were, definitely a good call on the side of Cool Kids Club to go for that Baron. They now have, they've now brought the gold lead back to within 1,500, so it's going to be really important with that gold. You're going to see the items on some of the carries. Deathcap nearly finished up for Juno, and you see a 4-item Jinx as well. So you're going to see some of these carries for Cool Kids Club start to ramp up in damage as we get towards these later game team fights, especially with this Baron buff on them.
Yeah, and I think the fact that the Graves has the second most CS in the game just shows the fact how important it is for the Graves to get the minions early on in the game so he can do the damage that he's currently doing late game. And right now this Graves is such a big threat for the blue side if they don't take him down.
Despite the Baron buff, Dylan is able to still do a lot of work onto this tower.
Go into Europe.
We're gonna see 3 members of Cool Kids Club try to collapse on him, but it's not gonna be enough. He's gonna lose that ultimate what is it, like the little ghoul or something, but definitely a worth trade for him. You do pick up that turret despite losing the Baron buff, and it looks like Ram Ranchers are still in position to come back from this game. And they're not behind at all. They're actually still ahead in gold. This is going to be one of those games where like just one team fight decides the entire outcome of this game.
I know.
I do think Ram Ranchers still have a bit of an advantage just given the fact that they have more turrets, which leads to just more presence in the map. That mid outer and top outer still have not been taken for Ram Ranchers. Cool Kids Club still have yet to take that turret down, and they only have 1 turret, and that's in the bot lane. So it's gonna be really hard for them, even if they win a team fight, for them to keep pushing. But with this Baron buff, hopefully they can start to do some damage onto these turrets. Oh, we see a bit of an engage here by Jack. Gonna E in, but it looks like he might be in trouble here. Gonna be forced to flash away from Kieran and Max. Double marksman comps definitely doing a lot of damage here. But we're gonna see the rest of Ram Ranchers continue to zone here. Oh, it looks like Lucas flashed into a trap. That's gonna be massive for them. Gino manages to fall, and it looks like Chad is gonna be ulting onto the rest. Dylan's gonna come in with the TP, but it looks like the rest of Cool Kids Club is gonna be able to wipe him down. Flash hook by Matt Quan is going to take down Max as well, and it looks like that's just a wipe. Huge mistake there by Lucas Hahn, flashing straight into the trap, almost basically lost him the fight from the start.
They could get the Nexus curve from this.
Looks like Cool Kids Club have 5 members down. They do have this Jinx, who's going to get extra attack speed every time she manages to kill an objective. Here comes that attack speed. They're going to be able to take down this inhibitor. They could even be looking for the end here. Looks like it's just going to be Kieran and Paul against the world. They're going to find the first hook onto the Nautilus, but it's not going to be enough. Paul manages to fall, and they're onto Kieran next. And that's the ace for the side of Cool Kids Club. And in 36 minutes, the Cool Kids Club, the number 5 seed, are going to take game 1 of this THSCS semifinals against the Ram Ranchers. What an incredible game. And it looks like